Gather their thoughts moments before the music begins. Each skater has prepared for this time, but are they ready enough? Past achievements can be fleeting to those who strive for perfection. The best never look back. It is always ahead and with confidence. Their reach is higher and stronger. We may never see into an athlete's competitive soul. It is a journey only they can make. Tonight have answered their own call to arms. Neither mental nor physical hardship has vanquished these special few. We continue to applaud that victory. Olympic gold medalist Ilya Kulik is here, along with past world champion Todd Eldredge. The Olympic pair's silver medalists Berezhnaya and Sikirlidze have come to face another competitive challenge. And it is always the presence of Michelle Kwan who gives the ladies' field a special quality. Welcome to the Bank of America Center in Boise, Idaho for the Masters of Figure Skating. Hello, everybody. I'm Tracy Wilson, and it is a busy year in figure skating this year. This is the 5th event in a series of 10 competitions being held by the International Skating Union. Tonight's competition is a Pro-Am, and it's their way of allowing the professionals to compete with the Olympic-eligible skaters. Joining me today, 2 Olympic silver medalists, Rosalind Sumners and Peter Carruthers. And Rosalind, there's an interesting rivalry developing in the men's event.
Well, Todd Eldredge and Ilya Kulik, the 2 hottest names in skating today, and neither one is backing down or resting on their laurels. This is a great rivalry that has the potential to last for a long time. 2 great athletes passing titles back and forth. In fact, Todd has beaten Ilya in the 2 times they have met since the Nagano Olympics. They are completely different personalities, and they are pushing each other, and they are pushing the rest of the men's fields. They come at this with different attitudes and different training, but they are doing great.
Well, and the rivalry will continue a little later tonight. Peter, size up the pairs event for me.
Well, Trace, it just seems like the Russian domination in pair skating continues, and in this competition will be Berezhnaya and Sikirlidze, Olympic silver medalists and world champions. Now, can they get to the level that Gordieva and Grinkov were years ago? Well, they have all the elements that they need to do that, but what happens to them is sometimes they get into competition, rush things, and things start to fall apart. They are exceptional skaters to watch, but they need to stay focused, calm, and collected in order to compete well in this competition.
Well, they're in the driver's seat in this competition. Also in the driver's seat is Michelle Kwan, and it seems that any event she enters these days, she's the one to beat. With more on Michelle, let's go back to the 4th member of our group, Alice Cook.
Tracy, one thing is for sure, Michelle Kwan loves to compete, but she did tell us earlier that she's going to scale down her competitive schedule this year, and she still is not totally committed to nationals and worlds. Her coach, Frank Carroll, told me earlier today that Michelle wants to go to college. The sooner, the better. So it appears that Michelle's future is not just going to involve skating. Tracy?
Thanks, Alice. And we'll see Michelle a little bit later. She's up against Lu Chen of China, bronze medalist at the Olympics, and also world champion Yuka Sato. First up tonight is the pairs competition, and they're going to get ready for the interpretive program. But earlier today, here's how Peter and I called the short program. And on the ice now, the current world and European champions, Olympic silver medalists from St. Petersburg, Russia, 22-year-old Yelena Berezhnaya and her 23-year-old partner Anton Sikirlidze. They skate to Happy Valley by Vanessa May.
A change this year in the short program for pairs. We will see a throw jump for the first time in the history of the sport. But right now, it will be the side-by-side triple toe loops complete. Watch the height she gets on this and the great catch. That is the throw I was talking about, and a disaster right off for these two.
Their coach, Tamara Mosquina, trying a new look for them in this program. They're known to skate to classical music. And the music for this program was given to them by Barbara Underhill, a world champion in Paris from Canada.
Great coverage across the ice, good speed. Combination hair spin. Watch the changes of position. Now a change of foot, making it difficult to do.
World champions Yelena Berezhnaya and Anton Sikorlidze. And their marks were good enough for first place. They are on top of the standings in the short program. Let's look at how the other competitors finished. In second, their Russian teammates Shishkova and Naumov, a Canadian team of Saleh and Peltier in third, and in fourth place, former world champions Kovarakova and Novotny. The pair skaters are on the ice now. They're warming up for their interpretive free program, and we will see that when we come back.
Masters.
We're live at the Bank of America Center in Boise, Idaho, getting ready for the pairs interpretive program. Here's a look at their order of skating for the interpretive program. Czech team of Kovajakova and Novotny skate first, followed by the Canadians, Saleh and Peltier. Shishkova and Naumov of Russia will skate third, and winding up the event, Berezhnaya and Sikorlidze, the world champions and the leaders at this point in the competition. Peter, let's take a look at the rules of the interpretive program.
Well, Trace, actually these rules are a little more open than what you would see in the Olympic eligible free program. Right off the bat, the thing that I notice most is no triple jumps. So we will not be seeing side-by-side triple jumps in the pair teams. And really, there's an unrestricted choice of music, so we can hear lyrics. So there are some big differences in this interpretive free program in terms of what the skaters can and cannot do.
The fact that there's no triple jumps, do you see that as an advantage to any of the skaters out there?
Well, I really don't think it comes down to being an advantage one way or the other. It's how do you deal with these rules the way they are written. And I think the interpretive free is more about just what it says, interpretation.
Well, a new couple that you have never seen before is a Canadian team. They've been skating together for less than 6 months. Jamie Saleh and David Pelletier of Canada.
Well, it was really exciting to watch them on practice. Tracy, I really didn't know much about this team until they arrived here. They've only been together for 5 months, and they upset some major teams at a recent major international competition, Skate Canada. And I think this is Canada's brightest hope for pair skating, and so it should be a really interesting debut for these two people here at this competition.
Well, they've showed us that they've will have a really bright future. And here's a look at Shishkova and Naumov. They're the Russian team that is sitting in second place at this point in the competition.
Well, it's fascinating to think that these two were world champions. Now, what happened to them after that world championship in 1994? Well, they kind of just dropped off, and nothing really materialized with these two. They have great pair elements. They are exceptional in their length and their line when they're skating, but they just sometimes don't have a lot of excitement.
And they've decided to go pro because they missed the Olympic team last year. And the leaders in this competition, Elena Berezhnaya and Anton Sikerlutse. And what a bright future these two have.
They are just exceptional, but they did have that big mistake in the short program, so they're hoping to really pull it together for this interpretive free program.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Czech Republic, Radka Kovarakova and Renee Novotny.
Now on the ice, the 1995 world champions. They're the only Czech team to ever win a world title. They're married in 1996 and now living in Brno, their hometown in Czech Republic. Here is Radka Kovarakova and her partner Renee Novotny.
However, here, side-by-side double axel, just barely hangs on. was Irina Rodnina who coached them to their world championship in 1995. Very nice program.
Radka Kovačíková and Renee Novotny. We will have their scores when we come back.
We're back at the Bank of America Center in Boise, Idaho. The Masters of Figure Skating. Kovačíková and Novotny waiting for their marks.
This is a little unusual. Watch her left leg, how she bends it on the takeoff. Typically, the left leg is straight to help vault you into the air. That's not helpful when you're trying to launch up like that. And this lip a little bit labored on the way up, but they do eventually get it up at the end of the program, demanding a lot of strength and stamina.
And the first set of marks for skating technique. 5 6s across the board.
Good start for the judges anyway. Completely unanimous.
5.7, 5.7, 5.7, 5.7.
And once again, 5 7s across the board. They were in 4th place. We'll see where those marks take them.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Canada, Jamie Soleil and David Pelletier.
Well, this is their second competition as a team. Their first competition was just over a week ago. They brought the house down at Skate Canada. They finished 3rd among top world competitors. Here are Jamie Soleil and David Pelletier.
And these two really have got my eye, because watch the expression she has while performing the very difficult skills within the sport of pair skating. Split, triple twist, wonderful. Very solid. Interesting how he's in a spread eagle while doing the death spiral. Hard to do, because usually you use your toe pick to anchor in for stability.
Though they have little experience as a team, they are experienced with other partners. She was in the 94 Olympics with Jason Turner, and he also competed with his partner in 1995, Allison Gaylor.
And Tracy, that's what's really going to help them. They've got that previous experience. Triple loop. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Do you know how much strength that takes to come out of the air and land so solidly? Fantastic.
Jamie has spent the last 4 years competing as a single skater, and I think that has really helped her strength.
the shape that these two are in. Really turning it on at the end. Well, Canada's back in pair skating.
Well, not only was that a perfect performance for them, but they've also put the pressure on the other teams in this event. 21-year-old Jamie Salé and her 23-year-old partner, David Pelletier. And we will look at their scores when we return right after this. And now the marks for Jamie Salé and David Pelletier. First set for skating technique, 5/7 and 5/8 across the board, Peter.
Well, this just shows you the potential that they have to do so. Wait a second. What's going on here?
Presentation marks ranging 5.5, 5.6.
That I do not agree with. Those marks should have been higher than that.
You're not alone, Peter. Everybody in this building feels that way. Those are good enough only for second place at this point. On the ice now, the couple that is sitting in second place after the short program from St. Petersburg, Russia. They now live in Simsbury, Connecticut. Yevgenia Shishkova and Vadim Naumov.
As I mentioned, they won the World Championship in 1994, and they really have just had no place in the skating world since then. So now, can they impress the judges here? Triple sow cow. Landed, but you could see her break at the waist. Harder to do when your back is down like that. But that was a well-caught triple twist lift. Gets the audience every time. Able to use just one hand because the centrifugal force actually lightens the weight of the girl in the air. Watch this lift. She'll do a somersault right up into a press lift. And then a half twist dismount. Their lifts are so finished off. The detail in their skating exceptional.
And in this interpretive program, Peter, they'll get extra marks for creativity like in that way.
Absolutely. the change of positions. He'll lift her with his leg.
Skating to the music of Figaro, and it suited them just fine. Ready to embark on a professional career, and I think they're right off on the right step with this routine.
Well, they are. They had a lot more excitement within their skating, and that's just what they need because the elements are all very good, all very polished. The detail in the elements is excellent, and they do them with great control, and that's very hard to do in pair skating.
Yevgenia Shishkova and Vadim Naumov.
And believe me, you get to know each other very well when you're husband and wife. And this is tough to do, the backflip. Typically, we see single skaters do this, like Mr. Scott Hamilton and others, but this spin shows how difficult it is to keep spinning fast and then pick his partner up like that while still spinning. That takes a lot of strength because typically the woman just wants to fly outside the circle, and that was a very hard move to perform at the end of the program. With a kiss.
The marks for skating techniques, 5.7, 5.8.
And now the first set of marks, and Peter 5.7 to 5.8.
I agree with these. These are very good marks for them, and they certainly proved themselves with the good skating that they had. And then, well, they've stepped it up in presentation, that's for sure. 5.9.
And those presentation marks have put them into first place at this point in the competition.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Russia, Elena Berezhnaya and Anton Sigurulidze.
Have only been together for just over 2 years. Current world champions, Olympic silver medalists, Yelena Berezhnaya and Anton Sigurulidze.
They had a big fall in the short program. Can they get through this program without any mistakes? Double jumps, and that is within the rules of the interpreter free where you cannot do the triple. Look at the extension that they have. Crossover that they take, they attack, and they gain so much speed from that. Just flying into this throw, triple, sow cow. That's what she needed.
Peter, when they're on, they're just brilliant. Just seems all they're missing is consistency. Across the ice. Great, the glide that is. He is so strong. And she is so flexible.
That's a perfect combination in pair skating. tremendous.
World champions Yelena Berezhnaya and Anton Tsikhurlidze.
Well, I can guarantee you they are definitely in pursuit of trying to win an Olympic gold medal in 2002 in Salt Lake, and it all begins by impressing these international judges, skating like that with such extraordinary power.
They're trained by the legendary coach Tamara Moskvina, who spends many hours creating some of the original moves that you saw in that program.
Well, look at the coverage she gets on this. She is taking off at this point and traveling, folks, probably about 15 to 20 feet across the ice and landing backwards on one foot. So much goes into pair skating, and so much of it is just nothing more than expression and passion, and they have both.
And now the mark for skating techniques, Peter.
Well, they certainly have the nod from the judges. Look at this. 5.8 out of all 5.9.
And there's the first 6 of the evening.
Well, that sets them up well in the judges' mind anyway. Berezhnaya and Tsikhurlidze, they certainly have made their mark here.
The final results of the pairs event. Berezhnaya and Tsikhurlidze are in first, followed by Shishkova and Naumov, also from Russia, in second. From the Czech Republic, Kovajakova and Novotny in third, and Canadians Saleh and Pelletier round out the field. And we'll be back with the cutting edge right after this.
The Olympic heroes of yesterday still shine in the spotlight. But today on the cutting edge, the Olympians of tomorrow are already making their mark in the skating world. And sometimes that means pushing through the pain.
You gotta deal with it and try to get through it and not to give up.
And the sacrifices that parents make for their children to compete at this level are endless. Stay with us. The cutting edge is next. Hi, everyone, and welcome to The Cutting Edge. I'm Alice Cook with Rosalind Sumners and Peter Carruthers, and today our focus is going to be on the junior skaters who represent the future of figure skating. But first, as always, we like to do a few rink notes, and the first one involves the ladies' competition here.
It is. We actually have Nicole Bobek, who is a last-minute replacement for Katerina Gordieva, who has got a serious back injury, and she's in the process working with doctors finding out what's wrong. So these skaters have such an unbelievable schedule. We're seeing so many more injuries these days.
Yes, that's for sure. Yuka Sato, she's here competing. She has a very interesting relationship with her coach.
Yes, she does. And speak about schedules, her schedule is going to get very busy because now she is skating pairs with her coach. That is Jason Dudgeon, two-time U.S. champion. And I caught up with him in the lobby at the hotel, and I was asking him, how's the pairs going? And Jason said, well, the timing and the unison's a little bit of a problem right now. But one thing Yuka has going for her is she's such a strong skater that will really help her with the difficult pair skills.
Well, Yuka was a former world junior champion in 1990, and that is a very important stepping stone for a skater, right, Rod?
Absolutely. I won in 1980, I think it was. And being selected just at 15 years old to go to a world championship was so exciting for me. And being in that international experience was not only an eye-opener, but a huge motivator. I mean, I look back at that as my major stepping stone to the rest of my amateur career.
Well, that was great. And you went on to win the world championship, Olympic silver medal. But this young lady sitting
What about me?
Alice, Rosalind.
We didn't have world juniors when I was skating.
We did find something in the archives that's pretty special
Oh,
about
no.
Alice Cook. Let's look back to 1970. There you are.
Please. It's on film. That's how old it is.
13 years old, and you pulled from 9th to 3rd.
Yes, I did. One of the highlights of my skating career, to be sure. Okay,
You
well.
have great skating technique.
Thank you. Well, tonight at the Masters of Figure Skating, we're seeing a group of skaters who have already proven themselves at the top level of world competition. But what about the Masters of tomorrow? The next generation of skaters are on their way up, and before we know it, it will be their turn. Peter has more.
I want to perform to the crowd.
Being aggressive, not to hold back on anything.
What I want to be is a champion.
I'd like to be known as a great athlete, but also a great person.
I'm a normal kid, I guess.
Our champions today also strive for success at a young age. Who could forget Michelle Kwan, who won the hearts of many as she later became a two-time world champion and Olympic silver medalist. Elvis Stojko also made his dreams become a reality to become a three-time world champion and two-time Olympic silver medalist. Every skater remembers where it all began. For a child just learning to skate, a lending hand from a parent helps them to push on. They lace up every day hoping to gain the approval of their parents. As they grow older, they begin to develop their own aspirations. In early September, skaters competed for a spot on the World Junior Team at Seven Bridges Arena in Chicago. The skaters had a chance to speak about what's really on their minds.
Definitely important for me to say I want to be the best that Shelby can be. I mean, yes, I would love to be like Michelle or Tara or Dorothy Hamill, but everyone's different, so something's going to be a little different.
I try to emulate everybody, like whoever has a strong jumping ability, or Scott Hamilton has a strong artistic presence out there. I just try to look at other skaters and then incorporate all of their strengths into my skating and just try to be my own skater.
Our favorites are Katerina Gordeeva and Sergei Grinkov, and we also like Betsky
and Petrov.
Because I think she's really good. She's so strong, and it's like when you watch them, they're just so fast, you know. But then Katerina Gordeeva and Sergei Grinkov are different because they kind of flow. They're different, you know.
I wonder what it's like to be a superhero.
When I see great skaters, and it's like, oh my gosh, they're like right next to me. And I saw Michelle Kwan at a restaurant one night during the Goodwill Games, because she was in a restaurant near our house. It's like, and we went over to say something to her, and I just couldn't say anything. I was like, I can't say anything. My sister had to talk for me.
Well, along with the hard work comes sacrifice. Sacrifice and the risks they take to achieve their goals has led many skaters to greater rewards. And for most of them, they wouldn't trade the decision for the world. But whether it's traveling from country to country or giving up their regular life at school, an athlete's life is different.
Well, some of the sacrifices that I think Laura's made, I can't even grasp, because like she's had the opportunity to go to school, whereas I've been homeschooled my entire life. I did 1 year of kindergarten, so a little bit of public school, but aside from that, I've been on correspondence. Aside from that, it's just a normal day-to-day grind that any other athlete's going to go through for training. But the payoff is definitely worth it. We reap a lot of rewards for the sacrifices we make. We get to see a lot of the world that kids our age don't get to do.
Sacrifice may also mean taking the risk to push your body beyond the limits. Parker Pennington skated through pain to a third-place finish at this competition.
I've been injured a lot, and I've gone through a lot of hard times. I've had an osteochondroma on my right foot. I had to have surgery on it. I've had sprained ankles. I've twisted my ankle. I've had groin problems. I go through a lot of pain, like soreness every day, and that's a lot for me. It's a lot of hard times, so.
We have basically given up the normal routine of everyday life. My husband is in Connecticut. I'm in Cleveland with the two boys. I bring them back and forth between the ice rink and school and back to school and then the ice rink again all day long. So it has been quite a sacrifice.
The one thing that seems to impress the parents of these skaters is that their children, although hardworking and completely dedicated to the sport, are finding life outside of skating, creating a more healthy balance.
There has been a pretty good balance in Sarah's life, and I think that her aspirations may not just be skating. I think she aspires to do very well in school. I think she's not just counting on skating to fulfill, what she wants to do in life.
How about someone that's been there? 1960 Olympic gold medalist Carol Heiss Jenkins sure has, Her strong coaching ethics make her one of the best in the business.
I think the one constant thing is you can't take the competitiveness out of the skaters. And the true champion is going to be the one that really wants to be the very best. They're not going to do it for the money. They're not going to do it for their parents. They're going to do it because they want to be the very best that they can be. They're going to do it for themselves. And that's the most important thing.
The top 3 qualifiers in each discipline will be competing in the Junior World Championships next week in Zagreb, Croatia. As for the ladies here that are competing at the Masters of Figure Skating, Yuka Sato won in 1990, and Michelle Kwan was first in 1994. Ilya Kulik won it in 1995 on the men's side. Here's Michelle. Warming up, practicing, looking fabulous as usual.
She's truly stunning on the ice. And when I think back to my junior experiences like Michelle Kwan's parents, the greatest thing for me is the thanks I have to give my folks because they shuttled us around to the rinks at the wee morning hours and also the financial commitment. So thanks, Mom and Dad.
Absolutely. And I couldn't have done it without my parents' support. And I'm sure for the parents, watching your children become a world champion, even if you're just 15 years old at the junior level, is such an amazing thrill.
Absolutely. So. True. Well, that's it for this edition of The Cutting Edge. We'll be right back with the men's short program from the Masters of Figure Skating.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tracy Wilson, joined by Roz Summers and Peter Carruthers. And Roz, we talked about Todd Eldridge at the top of the show, and he's really on quite a roll this year.
Well, and it's so inspiring to watch. He's really used his 4th place finish from the Olympics in such a positive way, mentally and physically. He has a real aura of peace and confidence on the ice, and a little bit of a feeling of redemption, having beaten Ilya a couple of times. And of course, you know, he's just out there pushing himself to new levels, and it's just so exciting to watch.
Well as Todd is skating this year, Peter, he's still up against 2 Olympic champions in Urmanov and Kulik.
That's for sure. 2 Russian Olympic champions, 94 Olympic gold medalist Alexei Urmanov has got a big challenge, though. He's coming back from a groin injury. He had to sit out last year for a lot of it anyway. So can he do the jumps and the spins that are really difficult to be competitive in this competition? Now, Ilya Kulik is a guy who's transitioning from becoming a big Olympic champion to an entertainer. But his jumps have kind of fallen off a little bit. His expression's very good, but he's got to put the jumps together to be a champion.
Well, since winning the Olympics, Ilya Kulik is now exploring new avenues in his skating. He's left his coach, Tatiana Tarasova, and he's working with others and experimenting with his own choreography.
I changed my status a little bit, and I'm not in amateurs anymore, and I was thinking to have a little bit more freedom for myself, you know, a little bit more creative freedom, work with different people, stay by myself, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it so much, and I think I'll keep this way for now. And it's actually giving me a lot of freedom, and I feel this way, and it gives me a lot of energy, actually. So while I'm on the ice, I have a lot of energy because of myself, you know, because I realize that I can do anything I want to do, and I'm enjoying it so much, and this is the main thing, actually, for me.
Well, you can certainly see that energy when he's out skating and performing, and the audience is really responding to the new look Kulik. We're getting ready for the men's interpretive program, but earlier today was their short program. Let's go back to the short program, and here's how Peter and Roz and I called it. Well, he's still only 21 years of age. He is also the current Olympic champion. Here is Ilya Kulik. And he is skating to Jumpin' Jack by Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
This is a great number. It has a lot of expression and a lot of difficulty.
He is also opening with the triple axel, triple toe loop. It's a triple axel double, but it was huge and it was clean.
lot of his strength is the speed that he carries going into the jumps. But what he's got to do is have a good takeoff position to be successful. Here, the triple Lutz.
Nice and solid.
Getting right through it.
He really takes his time on each element. He never rushes anything. He's competed twice as Nagano, and both times he's been beaten by competitive Todd Eldredge. And really, the rivalry begins here in the short program. This is where you have to lay down the elements and set yourself up for the interpretive free.
Is he doing just that?
And then he turned that double axel into a single. Now that's something we don't usually see.
That's going to show up in the first mark. That's a big deduction, 4/10. That's a big mistake for him.
And really, Peter, it was a bit of a silly mistake for Ilya. Very different for Ilya. He's always so serious. Very fun.
Well, he's moved to California because he said he likes everything about the United States, and I think this crowd likes everything about him. Ilya Kulik. Golf from the beautiful Poipu Bay Resort Golf Course in Kauai, Hawaii. Our coverage begins Tuesday at 7:05 only on TBS Superstation. Well, the scores for Ilya Kulik, required elements, they ranged from 5.2 to 5.5. A lot of 5.3s in there also. Presentation up slightly, 5.7, all the way up to a 5.9. But on the ice, after Ilya Kulik, was his rival, Todd Eldredge. Let's go back now and watch Todd Eldredge's short program. Five-time U.S. national champion. Second at the World Championships last year, 27-year-old Todd Eldredge. You'll recognize the music. It's Cabaret.
And he knows the door's wide open for him to walk away with this short program if he can just hit the elements.
And talk about being on a roll. Todd has been skating so consistent lately. Great practices, very relaxed. Speed he gets with this opening triple axel, triple toe is amazing. Turned it into a double. Straight line forward, and watch this interesting move into the triple Lutz, a little back hop, setting himself up. Beautiful.
As always, spinning perfectly in one place with a lot of speed. This is where he's really improved his footwork. Years ago, he wasn't a good footwork skater. Now, a lot more turns, steps, great agility.
She's just riding a wave this year, and I think the wave continued right through this program. 27-year-old Todd Eldridge.
Taking it all in stride.
And he's actually becoming a personality skater, which is something we could not say before. Here's the triple axel. Planned on doing a triple toe. Huge first jump. Didn't quite have enough speed for the triple. Turned that into a double.
And again, showing some of that great footwork. This is where he has really stepped it up. Showing those international judges that he has a lot of agility.
The marks for required elements.
And the first set of marks for Todd, and these range from a 5.7 to a 5.9.
That's the difference between doing a single axle and a double axle in the short program.
And second set of marks are high also for Todd Eldridge, and he has taken over the lead. And we're in Boise, Idaho for the Masters of Figure Skating. And while we await the start for the men's interpretive program, that should get underway shortly, let's take a look at the final competitor in the men's short program. Here's Brian Orser. And now on the ice, a true veteran in this competition, at least 10 years older than his competitors, has been skating pro for 11 years. Two-time Olympic silver medalist from Canada, Brian Orser.
And the last time Brian performed an Olympic short program was in 1988. So this is a real challenge for him. Combination jump he has planned is a triple Lutz double toe, something he's recently added back to his repertoire. Nice. Good for him.
Right on the money.
You know, it's hard to come out and compete against recent Olympic champions.
And look at this great footwork. Does he have fast feet? Quick changes of direction. Just firing it off.
Nice triple Salchow.
That's experience for you right there.
Absolutely. Years of performing and being under this kind of pressure. Showing you can stand up against those younger skaters.
With Brian at the '84 Olympics. We're from here in his era, and we appreciate just how difficult it is to do what he's just done. Congratulations, Brian.
It's the best feeling.
I'll be honest with you. I think he attacked that program more than any of the men.
Absolutely. Maybe he had a little bit more to prove.
Technically, it wasn't at the same level, but he really delivered the performance.
That's a personal triumph.
Well, that performance by Brian Orser was good enough to put him into third place ahead of the current Olympic champion, Ilya Kulik. Todd Eldridge was the winner. Alexei Ermanov finished second. Now, these gentlemen are backstage. They're getting ready to take the ice for the warm-up of the men's interpretive free skate. We'll be back right after this.
Idaho. The men getting ready for the interpretive free program. And earlier today, a man turned in an exceptional performance in the short program. 10 years removed from Olympic competition, Mr. Brian Orser performed this triple Lutz double toe loop. So for that, we award Mr. Orser with a job well done, presented by Whirlpool.
Well, the men are on the ice warming up for their interpretive free program. Here's a look at the order of skate. Ilya Kulik will lead things off, followed by Brian Orser, Todd Eldridge, and Alexei Ermanov will round out the competition. And Peter, let's take a look at the rules for this free program.
Well, again, these rules are not as restricting as what you would see at the Olympic Games. The maximum number of jumps with 3 or more revolutions, 4 jumps with 3 or more revolutions for the men. Now, the ladies can only do 3 jumps. So they just don't have that incredible requirement of having to do like 8 triples the way Kulik did at the Olympic Games. No restrictions on spins, and the program length has to stay within 3:30 and 4 minutes.
Here's a look at Ilya Kulik. Very disappointing short program. And Roz, do you think his new attitude is costing him greatly in the jumps department?
Well, this is a program coming up here that he's choreographed himself. So like he said, it gives him the energy and gives him the confidence. He said really good practices. What he has to do now is just put that short program mistake behind him, focus on the here and now.
Peter, when Brian Orser was coming into this competition, he said, I'm not expecting to do anything in the short program. He said, I just think, you know, for me, it's the interpretive program. That's where I have something to offer.
Absolutely. Todd Eldridge is someone that is going to give everybody in this competition a big run for their money simply because of his consistency. It has been so strong, and anything that you throw at Todd Eldridge, he is able to manage it very well. His crisis management for pressure is great.
Really, he proved that his Olympic 4th place just pole vaulted him into an amazing career that just keeps going and going.
Well, with 1 world title and 5 U.S. national titles, Todd Eldridge is leaving his options open for the 2002 Olympics in Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake's a good town for me. It's where I won my first national championship, and you know, it's one of those things. You know, 3 years is a long way off, though. You never know. I mean, injuries. Who knows what can happen in 3 years? But you know, it is definitely in the back of my mind, and as long as I stay healthy and you know, have the desire to want to try it again, then you know, I'll do the qualifying and hopefully make it.
Eldridge said to me earlier he's really enjoying the competitions this year because it's not just about triple jumps. He said it's not about how many jumps you could do, but a real variety with spins and footwork. It's the whole package, and that kind of approach suits Brian Orser perfectly because that's where his forte is.
And Brian's had such a great professional career. He's won all sorts of Emmy Awards. He's written an autobiography, and he's out here just really, really enjoying himself, feeling like he really belongs out here with these other men. And that is an important part of your confidence. And, of course, that amazing short program, what a boost.
He didn't win 8 Canadian championships and 2 Olympic silver medals without being very competitive also.
Now, here's a look at Alexei Ermanov, and he's been off the scene for a couple of years now. A devastating groin injury. He's come back from that. He's got his jumps back. But I talked to his coach earlier today, and he says the only thing he's missing is he's not in competition shape. He gets really nervous.
Right, well, I think really it just does come down to this groin injury. When you do a jump or a spin, you have to pull your legs in quickly and tightly to create rotation, and that's where the groin, if it's at all weak, will fall apart. So I think the question in his mind is, can he fire off difficult jumps and spins to be competitive?
The warm-up is now over. Please clear the ice.
The warm-up for the men is now ending.
Kulik out there just smiling away.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Russia, Ilya Kulik.
He's now from Van Nuys, California. And as Roz had just said, he is the choreographer of this program. Here's 21-year-old Ilya Kulik.
signature piece of music, Cool from West Side Story, suits his personality.
Crazy boy, get cool, boy. Got a rocket in your pocket. Keep coolly cool, boy. Don't get hot, 'cause man, you got some high times ahead. Take it slow, and daddy, oh,
Triple axle and a pair of jeans, hard to do because they don't stretch.
boy, crazy boy. Stay loose, boy. Freeze it, buzz it, easy does it. Turn off the juice, boy. Go, man, go, but not like a yo-yo schoolboy. Just plain cool, boy. Real cool.
He's used to being chased by the other skaters, and tonight sitting in fourth place. He's the one doing the chasing. Triple Lutz here.
Easy, actually.
Very solid, very easy. Very interesting way to come out of a double axel, and that is the jump that he missed in the short program.
Cool, baby John.
Triple flip, almost in slow motion. His rotation is so slow, but very strong.
He really keeps the pace and power going through this program.
That was strange. Opened up on an axle.
I'd say he's got a bit of an actor in him.
Playing cool, boy. Real cool.
And Peter, skating without a coach, standing at the boards, being there for practice, very hard to just rely on yourself.
Tough thing to do.
Your current Olympic champion, Ilya Kulik, as Ross says, he's got an actor in him, and he's also a great choreographer. And we will be back with the scores for Ilya Kulik right after this.
Bring home the passions. Fighting a whole silly world.
World champion Michelle Kwan has just arrived at the Bank of America Center here in Boise, Idaho. We've got lots of skating still to come, and she will be on tap on the ice right after the men. And here's a look at the first set of marks, Peter, for Ilya Kulik.
Well, these first marks are just fine. However, I think toward the end of the program, he got a little bit sloppy, not quite sharp enough.
And the presentation marks go down, Rosalind.
Like Peter said, it wasn't sharp. It was a little bit sloppy.
And he's left the door open once again for the next competitor. Silver medalist at the 1984 Olympics and again in '88 in Calgary. Here is
7-time Canadian champion, Brian Orser. He skates to the music, Dear Father, sung by Neil Diamond.
Dear Father, we dream, we dream, we dream, while we
Brian's had so much success in his professional career, touring and competing. But he's also overcome a lot. He lost his mother 2 years ago to cancer, and it really gave him a whole new sense of motivation for his skating. Beautiful triple foul. He's very conditioned, the best we've seen in years.
Very hard jumps. He's doing them very well.
He's got such pacing, wonderful timing through this program, really taking his time with every move. And that's what comes from the experience of performing so much.
And we will have the mark for Brian Orser right after this. First set of marks for Brian Orser. Skating techniques ranging, Peter, from 5'4" 5.5 to 5.7.
Well, you can't get too upset about this because technically his jumps aren't of the difficulty of the others. But look at this.
You can be delighted about these marks for Brian. 5.8, 5.9.
This is more than just skating. This is a lifetime of experience in a sport that this man loves and shows so much passion towards.
And so much respect for. Those marks have put Brian Werser ahead of the current Olympic champion, Ilya Kulik. And now, on the ice, world silver medalist, 5-time national champion. Skating to a time to say goodbye. Here is Todd Eldridge.
His command out there of the ice. Opening with the triple axel. Triple loop.
That program just gets better and better. I've seen it a number of times, but I enjoy it more each time that I see it. Exceptional.
Peter, I think this audience would like to see that again.
What a champion. No matter what comes at Todd Eldredge, he deals with it, manages it, and always turns it into something that's going to benefit him in the long run.
We'll be back with the scores for Todd Eldredge right after this. And Todd Eldredge waits alongside his coach, Richard Callahan, for his scores.
And look at the concentration that this man has skating into one of the most difficult jumps in skating, the triple axel. Just a walk in the park.
And the first set of marks for Todd Eldredge, 5.9 across the board. Again, there's no hesitation or any doubt in his skating. And there's the 6 for presentation. First place marks across the board for Todd Eldredge, and a warm round of applause from this audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Russia, Alexei Urmanov.
On the ice now, a 1994 Olympic champion. He's one of the few Russian skaters who still lives and trains at home, and his home is St. Petersburg, Russia. He's skating to a Latin American medley. Here is Alexei Urmanov.
And tough to skate after Eldredge's performance, but this man is used to pressure.
Opening with a triple flip.
That was absolutely perfect as far as the air position. Perfectly straight. Just what you want. The big triple axel jump. Look at the height. He stopped the rotation about a half a foot off the ice. Amazing height.
Different style from the other skaters. And that's because it's a variation of his long competitive program, which he does for Olympic-style competition. Not quite as theatrical as the other skaters.
But difficult in its own way.
Absolutely.
And now, another axel, only a double there.
Actually stayed eligible so that he can win a world title. That's his goal. It's the one thing not on his resume. triple loop combination. He has such wonderful body carriage throughout everything, the jumps, the spins.
Alexei Urmanov from Russia. He was in second place coming into the interpretive free skate. Peter, what do you think? Catch Todd?
Well, that's going to be tough, but I will tell you this. Technically about his jumps, that's a skater's dream to be able to get up into the air and be that straight, especially on that triple flip that was the first jump in the program, because it just takes out all the degree of area that you might fall on because you're technically perfect in the air, and he's mastered that.
His triple axel here. Back edge setting him up, pole vaulting into the air, perfect leg position. A little bit of a lean on the end, but he hung on to it.
This is only the double here, but again, this is not about required elements. This is the interpretive free program.
And his first set of marks, 5/8 across the board, Peter.
Yes, this is expected in that they are fine marks. They won't get near Eldridge, but these are much better, and a low of 5.6. That's surprising.
That those marks are good enough to put Alexei Urmanov into second position. And the winner of the men's competition, Todd Eldridge from the United States, followed by Alexei Urmanov of Russia. Brian Orser pulls a major upset as he overtakes the Olympic champion, Ilya Kulik. Let's go backstage now to Alice Cook, who's standing by with the winner.
Thanks, Tracy. Todd, great job tonight. You'll take a perfect six anytime, right?
Anytime.
When was the last one? Only 2 months ago.
Yeah, I got one 2 months ago, but they're few and far between.
You are on a roll, though. Do you feel a difference in your skating since the Olympics? Are you having more fun?
I'm having a lot more fun doing it, and it has been going pretty well, and I've been kind of on a roll lately, so hopefully we can keep it going.
What is your timetable right now? You said maybe 2002. What's the immediate timetable?
Immediate timetable, I've got some shows coming up, and my next competition is the World Pro in Washington, D.C., so got a lot on my plate, but it's all fun, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, good luck.
Thanks.
Coming up next, the ladies take the ice.
And we're live at the Bank of America Center, Boise, Idaho, for the Masters of Figure Skating. And we're getting ready now for the ladies' competition. Joining me, Rosalind Sumners and Peter Carruthers. And Rosalind, Michelle Kwan, once again, is the one to beat in the competition.
Well, it's actually known as the Michelle factor. When she comes into these competitions, she's just expected to win. Now, Michelle can handle that pressure. She has an amazing perspective on everything. Now, if you're Michelle's competitors, unfortunately, you know the only way to beat Michelle is for her to make mistakes, which is very rare. So it's a whole different level of pressure for the other skaters.
Well, let's talk about those other skaters, Peter. Does Yuka Sato have a chance to catch her?
Boy, did you see that shot just then of Yuka Sato taking a look at Michelle Kwan? Well, Yuka Sato is someone that can challenge her for sure because she is the '94 world champion. But what Yuka has that is so great about her skating is the fact that she really settles into her knees and her carriage, the skating quality, not so much the jumps, but just the lovely line that she has on the ice. That's what makes her such a great lady in the sport of figure skating. So I think that she is just really going to be a strong factor.
And another skater who's
out there to beat Michelle Kwan this evening is the Olympic bronze medalist Liu Chen, and her roller coaster career peaked when she won the world title in 1995. She faltered in 1997, did not qualify for the World Championship, and denied China a spot at the Olympics. It was only through special qualifying that she did have the chance to compete at the Olympic Games. It was a skate of a lifetime.
When I go to Olympics, when I start, compete, and I just like, okay, it's time to show people, I'm back, and I can do it. Just keep telling myself, okay, you can do it, you can do it. And like, by the end, I was just so emotional. I was just like, oh my God, this is over.
I know it was one of the most dramatic performances for me when I watched the games in Nagano. We'll get a chance to see Liu Chen as she goes after the world champion, Michelle Kwan. We'll be back with the ladies event in Boise, Idaho, right after this.
As a competitor, I never believe I'm alone. Even after winning a championship, I'm standing on the podium, and, it's gratifying, but you know that there's people behind you, that you know that people are working really hard, maybe even harder than you are. Even if you won 1,000 competition, doesn't mean that you're going to stay up there forever.
Well, it's that kind of attitude and work ethic that is keeping Michelle Kwan right at the very top. The ladies' short program took place earlier today. Let's go back now and take a look at the performance of Michelle Kwan. And on the ice now, national champion, Olympic silver medalist, the current world champion, and the one who is setting the standard in ladies figure skating. Here is 18-year-old Michelle Kwan. She is skating to The Fate of Carmen, choreographed by Lori Nickel.
She is opening her program with the triple lutz double toe. She's been struggling with this in practice. It's scratchy on the landing.
Very determined.
Step sequence into a triple toe loop. Nice. This is a new program for Michelle. She's very motivated by her music. She puts a lot of importance on that. Her signature spiral and the spiral sequence. And it's not just her jumps or spins that are setting the standard for ladies figure skating today. It's the entire package that Michelle puts on the ice.
The hardest thing for a skater to do is introduce the new short program every year, and she's done that, done it well. All the elements intact.
Michelle Kwan gets a nice hand from the audience. We'll see what the judges thought of her short program when we come back after this. And we're back at the Bank of America Center where Michelle Kwan is waiting for her mark.
5.8, 5.8.
And the triple Lutz here went straight up with tight legs. As she started to lean at the end, it didn't give her much speed for the double toe. A little scratchy, but she did complete it. No deductions.
First set of marks, all 5.8.
Very solid marks right across the board. Again, a new program being debuted here. She feels comfortable with it. It only gets better from here on in. And look at these scores.
5.9s. We're so used to seeing this from Michelle in the presentation scores.
Better than passing marks from the judges. They liked her new short program.
And she's such a perfectionist. It just shows that she would never show up at a competition like this anything less than totally prepared. What a champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the United States, Nicole Bobek.
And on the ice now, her best year was in 1995 when she won the national title and a bronze medal at Worlds. She has gone back to her coach of that year, Richard Callahan. She says she needs his discipline. Here is 21-year-old Nicole Bobek.
And again, finding out she was going to be here just a few short days ago. You have to be able to put it all together, rely on the training. She's opening with the triple Lutz double toe. No. She gets to the landing and she just lets it go.
That will be a 4/10 deduction on the first mark for required elements. 8 in all in this short program.
She seems to rush her jumps. She needs to take the time on the takeoff. Triple toe. Yeah,
wow.
hanging on.
Cliffhanger.
Again, lazy on her landings. Wonderful extensions in her spiral sequence.
Should be fairly easy for her. The double axel forward takeoff. Gets through that nicely.
A lot of coverage on that jump. Again, the short program is about taking each element one at a time. Nice combination spin, keeping her speed throughout the entire spin. Only one mistake. A very energetic, solid program.
National champion, world medalist, Nicole Bobek, hoping to work her way back up.
Well, we've seen her getting a little bit better with every competition this season. She's on a growth pattern, but we're still waiting for that moment when she comes on the ice and hits all of the jumps.
Again, the triple Lutz, she takes off fine, keeps the legs tight, and just starts to lose the arms. Not tight enough in the air. Can't hang on to the landing.
The double axel, she skated through this well. Tight position in the air, allowing her a good landing on that.
As well as going back to train with Richard Callahan, she's also for the first time moved away from her mother. And she says she's really missing Mom and her home cooking. She's having to take care of herself. So some big changes in Nicole's life. But after finishing 17th at the Olympics, she had to make those changes.
And it certainly has never been a question of whether she has the talent or the ability. We know she's got that, but she's got to put it together in these required elements, and look at this.
Very low range first set of marks from 5.2 to 5.4 because of all the costly mistakes.
That explains the presentation. Potential.
And those are good enough for second place right now for Nicole Bobek.
Ladies and gentlemen, from China, Lu Chen.
Well, her performance, her bronze medal winning performance at the Olympics in Nagano was probably one of the most memorable, very dramatic. Here's 22-year-old Lu Chen from Jilin, China. And she now lives in San Francisco, just doing some housekeeping, picking some things off the ice. She is training with the coach of Kristi Yamaguchi, Kristi Ness.
Knows how to sell a program, but she has to hit the elements. She's opening with a triple toe, double toe combination. Nice. Not the difficulty of Michelle Kwan's triple Lutz, but completed.
Double there. Not aggressive enough on the takeoff to complete the triple rotation.
Program, you never have a chance ever to let down your guard or let down your fight. You have to just mark off these elements, knowing that any mistakes can cost you. Like I said, selling the program.
Skating to the music, Adios Nonino. From China, Lu Chen.
One thing that Lu Chen does so well is she's able to rise to the occasion. In practice, she's at times just lackluster, but when she's under pressure, she's able to bring up those competitive juices and get the job done. That didn't quite happen in this part of the competition.
She's also skating with so much more ease, and she seems so relaxed now without that pressure on her from the Olympics. Here's a look at the triple sow. Again, she just didn't pull in the arms tight enough to complete the rotation.
Lulu is planning to join Discover Card Stars on Ice this year. She will not be competing at her national championships or at the World Championships. So it's a big change for Lulu.
And the lady that coached Christy Yamaguchi to her Olympic gold medal, Christy Ness, right beside her.
The marks for required elements, 5.4.
First set of marks for Lu Chen, and these range from 5.3 to 5.4.
Falling short on the rotation, clearly showing up here in the required elements.
She did sell the program, but again, these marks are a little bit lower. She didn't have the speed that Nicole Bobek had. She's falling just under those marks.
So Lu Chen is sitting in third place in the short program. And here is 25-year-old Yuka Sato.
And Yuka is in the best shape that she has been in years. She's skating so solid, very strong.
And looks so confident in the warm-up. She's going to really have to attack to hit this opening combination, the triple loop, double toe loop, the first. No. She landed it perfectly in the practice.
Step sequence into a triple Salchow. Nice. Shines, this footwork coming down the ice. Look at her upper body, how in control it is while she does all those quick steps. Nice double axel. A lot of coverage across the ice. And again, another one of Yuka's strength in her spin. Throughout, always. Yuka's so much a complete skater. Everything, connecting moves in between. Nothing is ever sharp or jerky.
'94 world champion, Yuka Sato. The ladies are warming up now for the interpretive free program. Here's a look at the standings after the short program. Yuka Sato's marks were good enough to put her into third place. The leader, of course, Michelle Kwan, followed by Nicole Bobek, and Lu Chen of China finished in fourth. The short program is worth 1/3 of the total score. The long program, 2/3. And here's a look at the skating order. Lu Chen starts things off, followed by Yuka Sato, Nicole Bobek, and Michelle Kwan will close off the evening for us tonight. And here's a look at Lu Chen, a very different look while she's warming up.
Well, she's skating to a new program here tonight, and she's going to have to really fight through this program and really fight on each jump. Sitting in fourth place, she's going to want to move up.
Yuka Sato sitting in third place.
And when you think about Yuka, I think her main objective here in the interpretive free program is to simply really stand up on the jumps. We know she is a great skater, but she took a strange fall on a triple loop in the short program, so jumps like that will help her.
And Nicole Bobeck is sitting in second place, Roz.
And Nicole really needs to take her time on everything. She has a tendency to rush her jumps, rush through the program. She really has to focus, rely on her training.
And as you said, Roz, these skaters, they can do the jump. They can be competitive. They just have to do it because they all know that Michelle Kwan is not going to miss.
Well, not only do they have to do it because of Michelle Kwan, but they have to do it under the pressure. No matter how many times you do it in practice, I'm telling you, it's so different to come out here at that moment and do it.
With an audience and judges.
Absolutely.
Well, as the reigning world champion, Michelle is in a league of her own. And with Tara Lipinski retiring from eligible competition, Michelle has had to look elsewhere for motivation.
I'm pretty much self-motivated to do the very best I can. I never compare myself to other skaters because I think it's unmotivating. Because you just, if they do all the jumps, if they land, they do perfect, they did good for them, you know, but I still have to do my own thing. And I think that's where it kicks in, where, okay, here I am, just going to go out there and show them what I've got.
And the final minutes of the warm-up for Michelle Kwan as she gets ready to skate in the interpretive program. We will have the ladies interpretive free program when we come back right after this. And we're back live at the Bank of America Center in Boise, Idaho. Just seconds away from the start of the ladies interpretive free program.
Michelle Kwan is just looking so solid and stable in this warm-up. Look at that, very composed.
The warm-up period is now over. Please clear the ice. Ladies and gentlemen, from China, Lu Chen.
And first to skate tonight, the 1995 world champion. A very different look. She is skating to Black Magic Woman. Here is Lu Chen.
This number choreographed by Sandra Bezic. Trust me, you don't want to take your eye off of her for 1 minute. This number is filled with nuances and subtleties. It's a very, very fun look for Lulu.
I'm sold.
And she has it in her to put this program together with all the jumps. With Discover Stars on Ice, and with 65 cities, she's going to get so much experience with performing. That's really where Lulu's heart is.
Triple loop, not even close. Not enough height on that jump to complete the rotation.
She really doesn't take enough speed into her jumps to even get up and get that rotation, Peter.
the ice. Didn't skate for the entire summer, and perhaps is paying for that now.
She really labored on the jumps, but I think showing a great side that we haven't seen from her. Diversity.
Great energy in this program.
Well, she's extremely popular among the other skaters, and that smile is why.
And she's
She's
really
charming.
really stepping out with a new side. Typically, we see her in a classical presentation or style, and here, very contemporary.
When we come back, the scores for Lu Chen. And we're back live at the Bank of America Center waiting for the scores of Lu Chen.
She really sometimes is a little sluggish on the jumps. It's labored when she gets up into the air, but that double axel had slow rotation, but it was a good one.
Here's the labored rotation on the loop. She never really gets high enough to complete the rotation. Had to 2-foot the landing.
And her first set of marks, 5 threes, and the rest, 5 fours. Presentation marks go up slightly, Peter.
Yeah, the energy level needs to come up a little bit, and I'm sure with the amount of performing that she's going to do this year, it will do just that.
Well, she's from Tokyo, but she now lives and trains in Detroit, Michigan, with her fiancé, the former U.S. national pair champion, Jason Dungeon. Here is Yuka Sato, and the music, Hat Full of Stars.
Well, she has a lot of skating in her family history. Her father was a 10-time Japanese national champion. His mother was a 2-time Japanese champion.
Just floating right through that double axel.
Number choreographed by Leanne Miller. You just get the sense that Yuka just sort of floats across the ice. Like she never really even touches it. Solid triple toe.
I'm trying to live in the present, but I keep tripping on the past. Finding out reality, cloudy comes in with some dress. No, we never had the time for everything we had. So it felt like we had
The jump coming up she missed in the short program, the triple loop. And that's how you come back fighting.
Look at the way she skates out of those jumps. So in control. What a master of just great skating quality.
Watching Yuka's entire program, the feel of it, that's what motivates me to want to skate.
Soft on the outside, strong and determined on the inside. Yuka Sato has just delivered her best.
You know, my dad's words ring true. He used to love to watch a smooth skater. He always thought that the smooth skaters were the best skaters. And now I really understand that because she is so smooth.
She has been training in pairs with her fiancé, Jason Dungeon. She says she's going to make a decision soon as to which she will take on. She said, I can't do both because I just hurt every day. It's too much training. But boy, if she's going to keep skating like that, Jason won't have a chance.
Well, I would miss her out there on the ice for sure, and I would miss just beautiful skating, like beautiful double axel. So down in the knees.
And she really aced this. She fell on this in the short program, but the reason she landed this time is the straight position. No question to land so perfectly.
Here's a look at Jason's reaction, and I noticed throughout the program she was just beaming right back at him, skating for him.
Fiancé, coach, and new pair partner.
And here's the first set of marks, Peter, for skating techniques, 5.7s and 5.8.
I would have had those higher. I think that's a little low to see a 5.7.
Second set of marks for presentation, 5.8 and 1.59. That is enough to move Yuka into first place at this point, but there are two skaters still to come. And on the ice right now, sitting in second place after the short program, here is 21-year-old Nicole Bobek. And the music is I Will Survive by Donna Summers.
And Nicole actually choreographed this number by herself. And Nicole's always at her best when she's skating to this kind of music. It gives her so much energy. She's going to need that going into this triple jump. Nice triple tail.
And it gives her the confidence that she needs to do the jump. Man, she can sell it when she wants to.
And she's got the audience, and that's what Nicole thrives on.
following every move, every beat of the music. I think the people in the last rows were dancing along with her. We'll be back with her scores after this and the final competitor in the ladies event, Michelle Kwan. That's next after this.
There's a look at Nicole. She gave her everything, has nothing left as she waits for her marks.
She opened the program with a really, really huge triple toe. She controlled the legs in the air, and she controlled the landing.
And showing that show presence and amazing extension on this arabesque position. Terrific.
First set of marks for Nicole Bobek. These for skating technique. Peter, 5.6s and a 5.7.
Well, you know, it just came down to that double axel. Everything was going so well, and then she took that crash.
Great marks, though, for artistic impression. That will put Nicole Bobek into second place behind Yuka Sato. And on the ice now, your leader, the world champion, skating to music from the East of Eden. Here is 18-year-old Michelle Kwan.
She makes it look oh so easy. Another brilliant performance delivered by Michelle Kwan.
And I just love the speed that she carries through the program, the attack on everything. Even something as simple for her as a double axel has such command.
And something so well positioned like this arabesque spiral, it's easy, but no, it's not. It's hours and hours of ballet and dance off the ice to get this wonderful extension on the ice.
That program was choreographed, as all her programs are, by Lori Nickel. And boy, they found a winning combination. 5-9s across the board for skating technique.
And it looks like winning Mars. Very solid.
Big hug from Coach Frank Carroll. 3 perfect marks for Michelle Kwan for presentation. Add that to her list.
So all the 6.0s she got at the national championships.
And once again, clearly, the leader, Michelle Kwan. She was followed by Yuka Sato. Nicole Bobek slipped to 3rd place. Lu Chen finished 4th. And we will be back to talk with Michelle Kwan right after this. We're back live at the Bank of America Center in Boise, Idaho, with a quick look at the final results of the competition. Russians Berezhnaya and Sikerlidze, the winner of the pairs event, followed by teammates Shishkova and Naumov, Kovajakova and Novotny in 3rd, and Saleh and Pelletier from Canada in 4th. Todd Eldridge was the winner in the men's event, followed by Alexei Urmanov. A big upset by Brian Orser over Olympic champion Ilya Kulik. And we're getting quite used to this result. Michelle Kwan sits on top of the leaderboard, just ahead of Yuka Sato, Nicole Bobek, and Lu Chen. Let's go backstage now to Alice Cook, who's with our winner.
Okay, Tracy, well, it was a new dress tonight, but the same old Michelle, nearly perfect. What was your inspiration tonight?
Well, I saw my mom and my family up there right before I skated, and I was like, okay, that has something to skate for. And I just skated and had a lot of fun and loved it.
You seem to be skating in a league of your own. What is going to motivate you in the coming months and years?
Just to have fun. That's my main goal. And, you know, I love the sport. I love competing. I love what I'm doing. And that's what the key thing is to do.
Is it getting better and better for you?
I think so. I mean, tonight I didn't have a very good warm-up, but when the music came on, it just lit me up, and I felt good, and I skated from my heart, and I could try to give to the audience.
Well, you did tonight. What are your plans right now, your immediate plans?
Well, going back home and training really hard, working on that triple-triple, and that dream, that triple axel.
I saw you land that triple-triple several times this week, so I think it's going good. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Back to you, Tracy.
Okay, thanks, Alice. And I think, like Michelle, a lot of skaters had their best performances tonight. They were really able to deliver. Rosalind, what was your favorite performance to watch?
Well, really, the best kind of competition is when everyone skates well, pushes each other. The highlight for me tonight, of course, was Brian Orser. Just love seeing that performance come from him. Talk about skating from the heart.
We skated with him for so many years that it really does feel great to go out and see him perform like that. Peter, what about you?
Well, I have to go with Yuka Sato. Just the simple quality within her skating. It's wonderful to see, but overall in the competition, I think it's great to see the technical requirements fulfilled, and then when you get to the entertainment part of the competition, which is the interpretive free, that's also good. So it's a good format for skating.
There are a lot of competitions competitions this year, Rosalind, and so many different kinds. What are your thoughts on the overall competition here and the way the skating is going in general?
Well, I think there's still a lot of focus on the technical side, but these competitions are forcing the skaters to really dig deep and find that interpretive, the artistic side of their skating, and skate for the audience. It's not really just about getting marks from the judges anymore.
Well, I think that this format certainly does appeal to a lot of the skaters. Thank you, Roz, and thank you, Peter.